Yes, this deranged, demented, delusional, dishonest, election denying, document stealing, tax cheating, insurrection leading, democracy hating, Putin loving, wife cheating, convicted sexual predator, and criminal won Iowa by getting approximately 56,000 ill-informed, uninformed, and or uneducated MAGNA Republicans to brave the cold in a state in which 1.7 million people voted in the 2020 election. While this is a small number of people and doesn't mean Trump will win, this should be a monumental reminder to do everything we can to ensure that this terrorist of anyone and everyone who tries to keep him accountable doesn't become president. And it should be clear that the more educated voters were less likely to vote for this diabolical devil. And now it's incumbent on those who know and embrace the truth and objective reality to stand up and speak out, because the evil empire and access of evil, including Russia, Saudi Arabia, and the right-wing media ecosystem and corrupt billionaires and power-hungry, repugnant Republicans will throw everything at us. Gas prices will be elevated. Wars around the world will be exasperated. Election officials will be intimidated. Voting obstacles will be employed. Third-party candidates will be empowered. And the economy will be undermined, lies and misinformation will be deployed, etc., etc. But the enlightened, the educated, the moral, the righteous among us will refuse to lose our democracy that generations of Americans fought to create and protect. We can, we must, we will keep America free from fascism.
Sorry, my dude. I've been warning y'all since Sleepy Joe took office. Between pushing the straight-out science-denying gender ideology, welcoming mass illegal immigration, up to 12,000 people a day, the crime wonderland demonstrated in California and Illinois, the support of sending billions to support Crimea and Pakistan when we have millions of homeless and hungry here, the extremely dangerous rise of the active mass demonstration support protest of Hamas, the overall blanket support of white hate ideology that's going around. And finally, denying that the sitting president should have been put in a nursing home 2 years ago for cognitive problems. You're getting Trump for president. Democrats are going to vote for him because y'all went entirely too far left. I told y'all not to. You're going to get almost all independents voting for him. Even the Republicans that don't like him are going to vote for him. An enormous swath of black folk are going to vote for him. A huge chunk of Latinos are going to vote for him. And none of those people even care if he turned into a dictator. Because the vast majority of the United States that y'all forget about, all these millions of Americans, will vote for Trump. Why will all those people vote for him, you ask? Not necessarily because they like the guy. The United States is not a democracy. The United States is a corporation, and all the people that live in it are employees and actual products. You need a CEO and all the characteristics that go with the CEO to straighten that company out. You need that CEO to make those ugly decisions. The fact is, countries that will not speak to anyone else will meet and speak with this guy. This is a guy that will straight order people thrown out of the country. It's the one time in history you need a privileged, white, rich man CEO. And let me tell you something. If you have to choose between Trump and these two, you're going to be better off with him. This one right here was the governor of my state. This is about the dumbest mother you could ever have. completely not qualified. And they straight up deny their East Indian heritage. This guy right here, DeSantis, if you vote him in, he is going to do the Christian version of Sharia law. The fact that y'all aren't fighting for an alternative president other than Sleepy Joe baffles my mind. I mean, you would at least had a shot if he'd have stayed on in the Democratic ticket, but he didn't. Now he's running on an independent ticket. So now you have no one. This is going to be your presidential candidate, and Trump is going to win. And if Trump's campaign is smart, he's going to bring on Vivek as vice president, because Vivek bowed out last night due to his losses in Iowa. If this happens, it'll be a landslide for the Republican Party. Landslide. And for anybody who's on the fence about this, okay, if you vote for Biden, in 4 more years, that science-denying gender ideology is going to be standard curriculum in all public schools. There'll be about 2 million more immigrants that, if you haven't noticed, are all young men coming in. And by the way, I'm not talking about the ones fleeing from Central and South American countries in Mexico. They're coming from Africa and the Middle East. Just the young men. But all the cartel stuff and child trafficking exponentially will continue. Exponential growth of... They're even buying up empty churches now and converting them to mosques. The currently smaller trend of white hate is going to explode exponentially with support of white Democrats. Your rent's not going to go down, and your groceries aren't either. Your money is going to continue to be funneled over to Pakistan and Crimea. We will still have zero in place for all the millions of hungry and homeless citizens. The POC community ain't getting shit because they only care about y'all when it's time to get your vote, and then they act like you don't exist. Now, if you vote for this person, you're not voting for them because you like them. You're voting for them because you want all that other stuff that I just talked about to stop. And if you're POC, you want actual legislation passed that benefits you. The press didn't let y'all hear that, but he did that last time. Sometimes in life, you have to follow a very old and very wise proverb. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. And I don't even vote. I'm an independent, non-voter.